I will tell you this right now. Write this down. Here's a quote for you, gentlemen. You do not owe women a better life. End of story. The end. Period. Thank you very much. Goodbye. You do not owe women a better life. I don't care what Matt Walsh or anybody from Daily Wire says. I don't care who the fuck they say. You do not owe them a better life. You owe them nothing. They are entitled to nothing. Frank Underwood. They are entitled to nothing. But if you want to give them something, if they are appreciative of it, if they see that you are a high quality guy and they appreciate the opportunity, they see like, holy shit, I found a diamond in the rough. I do this all the time on Access Vegas. We always use the the female delusion calculator. And we calculate, okay, well, how rare of a man am I? Roll it, Tomasi. How rare am I? How much do I make per year? How tall am I? How in shape am I? Am I obese? Am I overweight? Blah, blah, blah. What else is there? Am I white? Am I Asian? Am I black? What am I? Right? You go and they go through all these demographics. And by the way, it's all based on CDC and Census Bureau data. It's all hard data. There's no qualitative research data involved. Am I white? Am I overweight? How much money do I make? How tall am I? Well, I forget what the other criteria. Anyways, what percentage of the population do I represent in the United States? When you show women that, you go, I like Rollo Tomasi or Mike Sartain or hell, even Adam Sosnick. We did it with him back in February when I first met him. We see how rare an animal he is. I mean, we're talking like a fraction of 1% of the guys. You could show women till they're blue in the face that the guy that's sitting next to them, maybe the guy that they're even in a relationship with, and they're going, oh, is he the best I can do? He is so much the best you can do that you should be thanking your lucky stars or praying to whatever gods you worship that he came into your life, because he is such a rare animal. He is such a rare individual in the modern society in the United States, right? Out of millions. Like, it'll even tell you the guy that we were talking about is 1 in 160,000, 1 in like 4 million, whatever. It'll even tell you that. They'll give you the rarity of that guy, and not just in percentage points, but like 1 in however many. And you know what? Women will see that and they'll still go, this motherfucker ain't all that. I could get better than him. They'll still think the same thing because they think that they're entitled to something better. They think they're entitled to a lifestyle. They think they're entitled to you owing them something, owing them a better life. When really it's the other way around, because your value as a man increases with age. Your value as a guy, whether that's monetarily, and hopefully you're staying in shape. Maybe you can be 55 and look like Rollo. Hopefully you are, maintaining your value. Guy who maintains his value, even Myron made concessions for that. You still have to maximize your potential. The worst thing in the world, here, I'll give you some fatherly advice, gentlemen, for the men and women too, I guess. The worst thing I can think of is unrealized potential. That is the most wasted form of energy. The most wasted form of capital is unrealized potential. So coming up with that, sticking to that, finding out what your strengths are, playing to those strengths. I mentioned this, with tongue in cheek, right? When I did the tweet about vasectomies and avoiding marriage and everything. Yeah, because I want men to maximize their potential. How do you do that? You do that unencumbered with girlfriends, with wives, with children, with mindsets that defeat you, with belief sets that are based on like emotionalism rather than empiricism. You can apply it on either side, right? But how are you going to maximize your potential? I've always said this, and if you've read my second book, which is The Rational Male, Preventive Medicine, there's a timeline in there for men as well, for women, but there's also my infamous SMV graphs. People always laugh at me when I say, oh, you're hitting your peak, you're hitting your stride at 36, 37, 38 as a man. It's because it takes longer for you to mature into that value. But once you get there, recognize that you are much higher value than you are. When I deal with guys who are like one-on-one counseling, and I do one-on-one counseling if you're interested, I also do group counseling on my Patreon. I'm still doing that, which will be Monday. So if you want to join, if you want to come into the Patreon group, by the way, and you're like, hey, I don't need one-on-one, but I'm good in a group setting, please join it's the top tier. It's $200 a month, but it's like gives you 2 hours one-on-one with me. And like, there's like, I think we have like 10 or 12 guys right now. In summertime, summer months, everybody kind of ducks out, but then they come back in the fall. I don't know. But come on down. Monday will be the next group chat. But when these guys come to me and they ask me about, oh, Rollo, I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to reintegrate myself into the sexual marketplace, Rollo. I'm 45 years old and I don't know anything about this. What is this Instagram of which you speak? Bill, that whole thing is the first place I have them start, of course, is at the gym, but the first place I have them start is by going to the delusion calculator, female delusion calculator. And I said, how rare an animal are you? Okay, that usually points out where their deficits are. Like if you're obese, then maybe you're not as rare an animal as some guy who's in shape or is at least his standard, official healthy body weight. Okay, so go to the gym. How much do you make? I only make $60,000, $65,000 a year, Rollo. Okay, well, that's going to decrease your rarity as a rare animal in the United States, right? As a male. But it might turn out that you actually own your own business. You're in somewhat good shape. You happen to be 5'11" or 6 foot tall. You might have advantages that you don't think of. And most guys are self-defeating because of exactly what Jordan Peterson was saying in this. But that men tend to have a much lower, especially the 80%ers, they tend to have a much lower estimate of their own sexual market value. And then when they see that in numbers, in percentages, and in like 1 in 160,000, whatever, when they see that, they go, God damn, maybe I'm not that bad. Maybe I'm not that worse. How can I be better? How can I improve even from that? How can I go from ordinary to extraordinary? And that's a good starting point. So I would actually suggest everybody do if you're a guy and you're like still kind of reintegrating yourself.